Hi viewers, welcome you all. I am Dr.T.DEVIKA, Assistant Professor of English, A.D.M. College for Women, Autonomous, Nagapattinam. Introduction to the drama. Drama is the specific mode of fiction represented in performance, a play, opera, mime, ballet, etc. Performed in a theatre or on radio or television. The term drama comes from a Greek word meaning action, which is derived from I do. The two masks associated with drama represent the traditional generic division between comedy and tragedy. Next, types of drama in literature. There are four main forms of drama. They are comedy, tragedy, tragicomedy, and melodrama. All these types have the common characteristics of drama genre. They are plot, characters, conflict, music, and dialogue. Comedy. Comedy is a type of drama that aims to make audience laugh. Its tone is light and it mostly has a happy ending. Next, tragedy. Murders, death, insanity, and pain are among the most common ideas in tragedies. Main characters usually have some kind of weakness or a defect that causes their downfall. Next, we will see tragicomedy. Tragicomedy is a special kind of drama that combines the features of tragedy and comedy. It means that such a play may be sad but will have a happy endings, or it may be serious with some elements of humor emerging throughout the whole play. Next, melodrama. Melodrama is the last one of four types of drama. It is a kind of drama in which everything is hyper polished. Usually, themes depicted in melodramas are simple and without any unpredictable plot twists. They are mostly love stories with beautiful heroines, charming heroes, and scary villains. Next, we will see one-act play. One-act plays were written and staged throughout the 18th century and the 19th as the curtain rises or the after pieces. Chief characteristics of one-act play. One-act play is a play that has only one act, but may consist of one or more scenes. One-act plays are usually written in a concise manner, then it deals with a single dominant. Next, situations and aims at producing a single effect. It deals with only one theme developed through one situation to one climax in order to produce the maximum of effect. It treats the problems of everyday life as marriage, punishment for crimes, labor conditions, divorce, etc. Next, four stages of one-act play. The one-act play, like the longer drama, should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. The exposition is usually brief, serves as an introduction to the play. The conflict. It is through the conflict that the action of the drama develops. It is the very backbone of the one-act play. Next, the climax. The climax is the turning point of the drama. It is an important part of the one-act play and constitutes its moment of supreme interest. Next, the denouement. The denouement is very brief and often overlaps with the climax. Next, we see the dramatic unities of one-act play. There are three dramatic unities which are observed in the one-act play. The unities are the unity of time, unity of place, and the unity of action. It aims at the simplicity of flat concentrations of action and unity of impression. It does not rely on spectacular effects and common dramatic tricks of old. The characters in a one-act play are limited in number. Generally, there are not more than 2 or 3 principal characters. So there is no full development of character till the different aspects of character are not presented. So the attention is focused on only 1 or 2 salient aspects of characters, and they are brought out by placing the characters in different situations and circumstances. And next, objectives of One Act Plays. It aims to express the need for social change, communicating a universal theme, recreating and interrupting information, ideas, emotions, and entertaining, which diverts our attention from our everyday lives. Next, we are going to discuss about the Lady Gregory biography and works. Isabella Augusta Lady Gregory, 1852 to 1932, was an Irish dramatist, folklorist, and theatre manager. She was born in 15th March 1852, Roxborough, County Galway, British Ireland. She co-founded the Irish Literary Theatre with William Butler Yeats in 1898. This became the Irish National Theatre Society in 1902 and led to the establishment of the Abbey Theatre in Dublin. Throughout her life, she remained the chief organizer. Next, the Lady Gregory produced a number of books retelling of stories taken from Irish mythology. Her conversion to cultural nationalism, as evidenced by her writings, was emblematic of many of the political struggle to occur in Ireland during her lifetime. She remained an active director of the theatre until ill health led to her retirement in 1928. Shaw described her as one of the greatest living Irish women, died at home aged 80. Next, we are going to discuss about the Rising of the Moon play, one act play. Main characters, the sergeant and the ragged man. The character of a sergeant, the sergeant is an Irishman who accepted the job of a policeman, and his duty requires him to against his own country. He is a married man with a family to support. At the beginning of the play, we find him in want of money. So he is eager to get the reward of £100 by arresting the Irish revolutionary. So, but his youth, his only dream was to attain Ireland's freedom. But he is now a loyal police officer of the foreign British government. So he helps to maintain law and orders in the interest of this government. So he says that the whole country depends on us to keep law and order. So he is keen on arresting the rebel leader even at the risk of his own life. Next, the character of Ragged Man. Ragged Man is the main character of The Rising of the Moon. So he is a rebel of heroic qualities. He is a clever man, a true leader, a psychoanalyst, a true patriot, and a passionate lover of his country. The man appears at the on the seaside in the case of a poor ballad singer. He can sing ballads in the most appealing passion to touch the heart and the spirit of the ardent police officer. His makeup of a ballad singer is so perfect that even in the course of his conversation, smoking, singing, and sitting together back to back on the barrel, the sergeant cannot suspect and detect him until he finally reveals his identity. He tries to tricks one after another to deceive intelligent and dutiful sergeant. At first, the ragged man sings a love song to please the sergeant, but he fails to fulfill his purpose. Then he tries to second tricks to hold the sergeant within his intellectual grip. He reels off a number of fictitious stories about the unusual physical strength and also about his dreadful deeds. Thus, he succeeds in exercising his wit and intelligence to befool the dutiful sergeant. He talks and smokes with a sergeant in a very intimate and friendly manner. Right from very beginning of the play, we find the ragged man on the top of his wit. So he made friends among the sailors to come out of the goal. Now he makes the sergeant friend again to escape arrest and imprisonment. Thus he proves that he is really a wonder, but he does not forget the help and associations of the sergeant. So before departure, he expresses his gratitude to the sergeant with an empathetic note of optimism. So he will surely pay back the good turn done to him by the sergeant when the rules of the day will off down and the ruled will come up at the rising of the moon. Setting for the play, The Rising of the Moon. Spectacle in a play is what is known as the setting. The setting is the time and the place in which the story takes place. The period of a story can impact characters, plot, and theme. Wars, natural disasters, and social changes are examples of how a period of time affects the drama. Next, the rising of the moon. On the moonlight night at the Irish Wharf by the sea, three Irish policemen in the service of the occupying English government pasted up wanted posters for a clever escaped political criminal. Convinced that the escaped rebel might creep to the water's edge to be rescued by sea. They all hoped to capture him for the £100 reward and perhaps even if the sergeant sent his two younger assistants with the only lantern to post more leaflets around town while uneasily he kept watch at the water edge. A man in rags tried to slip past the sergeant, explaining that he merely wanted to sell some songs to incoming sailors. The ragged man identified himself as Jimmy Walls, a ballad singer. When the man headed toward the steps to the water, the sergeant stopped him, insisting that Jimmy leave by way of town. Trying to interest the officer in his songs, the man sang a few ballads to the protesting sergeant, who wanted only to keep the area clear so he could catch the fleeing prisoner if he appeared. He ordered the man to leave the area immediately. Next, the ragged man pretended to start toward town, but stopped to comment on the face on the poster, saying that they knew the man well. Interested, the sergeant changed his mind about sending the ragged man away and insisted that the stranger stay to furnish more information about the fugitive. The ragged man described a dark, dangerous, muscular man who was an expert with many weapons. Then he hinted at previous murders of policemen on moonlit nights exactly like a present one. Frightened, the sergeant gladly accepted the ragged man officer to stay with him and walk to help look for the escaped murderer. Sitting back to back on a barrel in order to have full view of the dock area. So the two men smoked pipes together to calm the sergeant's nerves. The sergeant confessed that police work was difficult, especially for family men. So because the officers spent long hours on dangerous missions. So accompanying the sergeant's lament, the ragged man started singing a traditional sentimental song about lovers and the beautiful Irish countryside. Then he began a naturalistic ballad about the legend, oppressed old Irish woman named Granully. So the sergeant stopped him, protesting that it was inappropriate to sing about Irish oppression when political tempers were flaring between Ireland and England. So his ragged comparison replied that he was only singing the song to keep up his spirits on their dangerous and lonely watch. Then the ragged man grabbed his chest as if the forbidden singing was necessary to calm his frightened heart. So the pitying sergeant allowed him to continue his ballad. Again, the man sang about the fabled Irish martyr Granully. But this time, he interested the wrong lyrics. Immediately, the sergeant corrected the man and sang the proper line, revealing his knowledge of a rebel song, even though he was supposed to be loyal to the English rulers. The ballad man slyly began to probe the sergeant's memories of former days when, as a young man, the sergeant lovingly sang several traditional Irish ballads, including Granully. Confidently, the sergeant admitted that he had sung every patriotic ballad the ragged man named. So the man suggested that the sergeant and the fugitive shared the same youthful memories. In fact, the escaped prisoner might even have been among the sergeant's close friends in their younger days. When the sergeant admitted the possibility, the ballad man described a hypothetical scene in which the sergeant joined in with those former singing friends to free Ireland. So therefore, the ragged man concluded it might have been fated that the surgeon would be the pursued instead of the pursuer. Caught off in the hypothetical scenario, the surgeon mused that if he had made different choices, not going into the police force, not marrying, and having children, he and the fugitive would well have exchanged roles. The possibility became so real for him that he began to confuse his own identity with the escape and imagine himself stealthily trying to escape, violently shooting or assaulting police officers. He was startled out of his reverie by a sound from the water. He suspected that he rescues had at last arrived to carry away the fugitive. The ragged man contended that the sergeant in the past sympathized with the Irish nationalists and not with the law he currently represented. In fact, he suggested that the sergeant still doubted the choice he made for the English law, but against the paper, boldly singing the rebel tune, The Rising of the Moon, as a signal to the rescuers on the water, and ripping off his cat and wig. Jimmy, the ballet man, revealed that he was in fact the fugitive himself, with a 100-pound reward on his head. Next, startled and struggling with his heretofore suppressed sympathies for the repulse, the sergeant threatened to arrest the escape and collect the reward when his younger police companies approached. He protested that his own rebel sentiments were buried in the past. So, slipping behind the barrel seat they had shared to guide from the nearing officers, the fugitive called on the sergeant's love for Ireland to keep his present secret, quickly hiding the fugitive's wig and hat behind him. So the sergeant denied to his subordinates that he has seen anyone. When the officers insisted that they stayed to aid their superior on his dangerous watch, so the sergeant gruffly rebuked their noisy officers and sent them away to their landing. The escaped rebel gratefully retrieved his disguise, promising to return the favor when, at the rising of the moon, roles would inevitably be reversed between oppressors and oppressed. Quickly he slipped into the rescue boat, left musing alone on the moonlit wharf. The sergeant thought of the lost reward and wondered if he had been a great fool. Theme of the Rising of the Moon. The main theme of the Rising of the Moon is the identity of colonialism. The theme also shows loyalty and betrayal, where the police have been given difficult decisions whether to be loyal to England or to be an Irish Republic. Thank you.